Welcome. In this episode, we're going to learn 5 special tricks that are going to be really useful when you start coding in Python. First, we have enumerate. Let's say we're in a situation where you need to access the index and the item in one for loop. So here we have an example, fruits with apple, banana, cherry. So let's say we want to access the index, which is 0 for apple, 1 for banana, 2 for cherry, while we're also accessing the items within this for loop. So we have 2 types of for loop. We have for I in range, and you also have for like fruit in fruits. Each of these are respective. One of them accesses the item, the other one accesses the index. But let's say we're in a situation where we want to access both. In this case, we can use enumerate. So we're going to do for I, fruit, in, enumerate, fruits. And what that's going to allow, it's going to give us the index and the item in the list. So we're going to print out I and then comma fruit. Let's see what that does. As you can see, 0, apple, 1 banana, 2 cherry. So it gives us the index and the item. Very useful in situations where you need both things in a short and easy for loop. Let's move on to zip. So here we have a bunch of names and some scores. So Max, John, Charlie. Max scored a 56. John scored a 93. Charlie scored a 78. So let's say we have we want to make one for loop where we want to access both the names and the scores very easily in a few short lines. And the way we use that is using zip. So we're going to do for name, score, 2 commas, in zip, names, score, scores. And that's going to allow us to access both the name and the score for each of the people. So we're going to do print, which is f string here. We'll learn about these later actually. And I'm going to do name.a and then score. So with that, spits out. As you can see, really nice, put an extra space, but that doesn't really matter. You can see Max got a 56, John got a 93, Charlie got a 78. And that's what's really useful about zip. You can take 2 lists and essentially combine them so you can access both of the items in it per index. Very useful. Next, we're going to move on to f strings. So as you can see, we have name, Alice, age is 16, favorite food is tacos. And let's say we want to create the sentence. Let's run it real quick. Alice is 16-year-old, and her favorite food is tacos. So, not bad, but you can just see how convoluted this looks. You have to convert all the integers to strings. It's just too much time, So there's an easier way you can use this using f strings. So let's make this a lot shorter. Let's keep this here for reference so I know what to type. Print, and then we're going to do f, and then 2 quotation marks, and then 2 of these curly brackets, and you can put in your variable. So name, and then is, and now we need our age. So put it into 2 curly brackets, age, years old, and her favorite food is, then 2 curly brackets, favorite food. And let's see what that does. You can see 2 identical lists, but this one takes a lot shorter to do. It's easier, and it's easier to read if someone else is looking at your code. Let's move on to list comprehension. So we have this really simple thing right here. Let's run it. As you can see, using this for loop and the list we made here, we have a bunch of squares. So with 0 to the power of 0, 1 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 2, 3 to the power of 2, and so on. But what if I told you there was a way to take these 3 lines and essentially combine them into one short and easy to understand line? That's called list comprehension. Let's get right into it. We're going to call squares here. I misspelled that? Yeah, squares. And then 2 of our brackets here. And then we're going to do I. These 2 asterisks means the power of 4 I in range. And then 5. It's essentially what this does is it's creating a for loop, and then it's appending I to the power of 2, and then it's going to go 5 times. Really easy, just in one line. Let's see. No difference. Except it's easier to write, easier to understand. Nice, efficient, easy. Let's move on to our last one, tuple unpacking. So we have this tuple right here. We have name and age, and it's equal to Gertrude, and she's 45 years old, okay? Let's say we want to access both the name and the age. Instead of indexing, we can use something called tuple unpacking. So we're going to name, comma, age is equal to name and age. Essentially, we're splitting this tuple into 2 little pieces. One's going to be the name, other one's going to be age. Let's see how that looks like. Name, age, and once you look at that, splits it into the name and the age. As you can see, those are 5 easy tips that you can use in Python to level up your coding no matter what level you're. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.